Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something really interesting. We're unpacking the documentation for an automated venture incubator called Build A Biz. If you've ever had a killer product idea, but just felt completely bogged down by the technical reality of building the thing, well, this tool claims to be the answer. We're going to see exactly how it supposedly takes a raw idea and transforms it into a fully deployed web asset. Okay, let's dive into this, starting with the absolutely massive claim that the entire source material revolves around. From mine to market in less than 180 seconds. Seriously, 3 minutes. The documentation basically says this automated launchpad can take a simple, raw product description and instantly spit out polished, responsive landing pages, outbound campaigns, and even ready-to-sell checkout configurations. It's totally the core hook of our journey today, so we're going to break down exactly how they outline this crazy 180-second process. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll look at the automation of business. Then we'll trace the 4-phase incubation process, take a peek inside the cognitive engine, look at deployment and monetization, and finally, break down their licensing and pricing models. All right, starting right off with Section 1, the automation of business. So the source material sets up a really stark contrast here. Traditionally, you know how it goes. Building a business means hiring expensive developers to write code, copywriters to nail the messaging, marketers to figure out the sales angles. It's just a slow, super capital-intensive process. But Build A Biz claims to completely replace all that friction with what they call an automated cognitive container framework. Instead of managing this whole team of freelancers, you just interface with an AI-driven engine that literally handles all the heavy lifting of formulation and design. It's like a giant puzzle coming together on autopilot. Now, who is this actually for? The docs explicitly outline 3 main targets. First, folks bootstrapping solo side hustles. Second, for the rapid validation of digital sauce products, so you can test if software is actually viable without spending months coding a landing page. And third, testing out micro-consulting formulas. Oh, and here's a huge detail from the documentation. They offer 50 free setup credits right out of the gate. No credit card required. So you can literally prototype these concepts with 0 initial risk. Let's move to and see how this builds with Section 2, the 4-phase incubation process. Okay, buckle up because this is their 4-phase incubation pipeline and it moves fast. Phase 1 is simply describing the vision. You just detail your audience and pricing in normal, everyday conversational text. Then, boom, Phase 2, auto-generate content. The engine instantly formulates business names, writes custom feature grids, builds interactive FAQs, and styles layout scripts. Phase 3 brings in sandbox monetization, letting you embed simulated or production-ready Stripe buy links. And finally, Phase 4, align custom domains. You just publish the code assets or map your own domains, complete with real-time visitor traffic logs. The whole shebang. That brings us to Section 3, inside the cognitive engine. To make this a bit more tangible, the documentation gives us a specific, real-world conversational prompt to show exactly what a user actually inputs. Just imagine typing this right into their real-time prompt interpreter. A premium hydration flask brand on autopilot that sends daily wellness hydration metrics via SMS subscription. And that's it. That is literally all the raw text fed into their cognitive prompt analyzer logic. Just one single sentence detailing a product and a subscription mechanism. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the instant interpreted launch strategy output generated straight from that one prompt. Look at this. It produced a full brand identity. The venture name became Hydro Intel Pro. It wrote a really punchy headline, Smart Daily Hydration Handled. It even structured the entire monetization strategy, whipping up 3 pricing tier layouts that included a $990 hydration SMS metrics plus flask accessory bundle. Oh, and it selected a brand color palette, electric teal. Behind the scenes, the server is dynamically analyzing the prompt schemas to pull all these branding variables and neural templates together. All right, moving right along to Section 4, deployment and monetization. So, obviously, before exposing any new business to the public, testing the payment flow is absolutely crucial, right? Well, the platform features a local dev server mockup sandbox. This actually allows users to embed either simulated or live, production-ready Stripe buy links directly inside the management cockpit. And these checkout flows re-render instantly into the code templates. What that means for you is you can rigorously test the entire checkout flow, basically acting as a customer natively in the sandbox before you ever flip the switch to live production Stripe links. Now, here is a massive benefit highlighted in the text. One-click direct download. Because there's no proprietary host locking you in, you can reclaim all the complete HTML codes, which, by the way, are mapped directly to responsive viewport selectors. This is a real game changer because it allows you to take those downloaded files and deploy them instantly wherever you want. Netlify, GitHub Pages, Vercel, you name it. You actually retain full ownership of the generated assets. Which leads us nicely into our final part, Section 5, Licensing and Pricing Models. So the crucial point is how the economics break down. The documentation outlines flexible payment options secured via Stripe. And get this, there are no recurring monthly subscriptions, just one-time payments. The starter pack sits at $14.99, which gives you 3 complete side businesses and 30 incubation credits. Next up is the Growth Booster tier at $29.99, enabling 10 premium business launches and 100 credits. And finally, the Pro Lifetime tier for $55 unlocks the whole shebang. Infinite formulation, infinite projects, and ungated HTML export downloads. We've traced the entire pipeline, seen the AI cognitive engine in action, and checked out the deployment methods outlined in their docs. If these automated tools can truly eliminate the friction of launching a business, it really leaves us with one provocative question. Is the era of the 180-second startup finally here? And more importantly, what concept would you test first with your 50 free prototype credits? Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer. I'll catch you next time.